What if the most dangerous wish in Dragon Ball history wasn't for power, but for pride? The Tournament of Power has concluded. Universe 7 stands victorious, and Goku holds the Super Dragon Balls, a prize capable of reshaping reality itself. In our timeline, he selflessly revived the erased universes. But consider a divergent path, a single decision that would send cosmic shockwaves across all of existence. What if, in a moment of Saiyan sentimentality, Goku wished to restore his lost home? Imagine the words echoing across the cosmos. Super Shenron, I wish for you to bring back planet Vegeta and all the Saiyans who live there to Universe 7, just as it was 1 minute before Frieza destroyed it. The consequences of this act would be catastrophic, beautiful, and utterly unpredictable. With that single utterance, a long-dead world is reborn. Not a ghost, not an illusion, but a tangible planet, teeming with millions of arrogant, battle-hungry warriors. The entire Saiyan race, from the lowest class fodder to the royal elite, is pulled from the brink of oblivion. And at its apex, a king stands once more on his balcony, looking out at a world he believes is his. King Vegeta lives again. And somewhere on that same planet, a low-class warrior named Bardock, having just sent his infant son Kakarot away, braces for a final, futile stand against Frieza. But the genocidal sun never rises. The threat vanishes. The timeline has been irrevocably altered. For Prince Vegeta, this is not a joyous reunion. It's an existential crisis. For years, his entire identity has been forged in the crucible of loss. He was the Prince of all Saiyans, a title heavy with the weight of a non-existent kingdom. It fueled his pride, his rage, and his relentless pursuit of power. Now, that foundation is shattered. He is no longer the sole heir to a legacy. He is a prince with a living king. King Vegeta, a man of immense pride and traditional Saiyan values, would not simply step aside. He would see his son's power, yes, but he would also see a warrior who has consorted with Earthlings, a man who has a family, a man who has gone soft. The political landscape of planet Vegeta would ignite. Vegeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue evolved form, could easily overpower his father. But could he bring himself to do it? To usurp the man whose approval he craved his entire life? This isn't just a power struggle. It's a battle for the soul of the Saiyan race. King Vegeta represents the old ways: conquest, dominance, and ruthless hierarchy. Prince Vegeta, shaped by his life on Earth, represents a potential new path. This internal conflict would tear him apart, forcing him to choose between the father he lost and the family he found. The prince of a dead race was a tragic figure. A prince in a court of intrigue and clashing ideologies is a political pawn, a position his pride would never tolerate. Meanwhile, on Earth, a very different reunion is taking place. Goku, ever the optimist, would likely use instant transmission to visit his father. The scene is heavy with unspoken history. Bardock, the grim-faced warrior, stands before a son he doesn't recognize. He sees Kakarot, the weak infant he sent away to survive, now standing as a being of unimaginable power. But it's not the power that confuses him, it's the smile. It's the gentle demeanor. Bardock was a killer, a soldier of the Frieza Force, albeit one with a flicker of conscience. He fought for survival, for conquest, and in his final moments, for revenge. Goku fights to protect, to test his limits, to find the good in others. This is not a simple father-son moment. It's a philosophical chasm. Bardock would see Goku's life on Earth as a betrayal of his heritage. You are a Saiyan, Kakarot. We are conquerors, not guardians. Goku, in his simple, profound way, would try to explain the strength found in love and friendship, concepts utterly alien to the brutal Saiyan society Bardock knew. He would demonstrate Ultra Instinct Sign, a power born not from rage, but from a serene mind. To Bardock, this would be an enigma, a perversion of what it means to be a Saiyan. The pride he might feel in his son's power would be forever tangled with disappointment in his son's Cess character. The man who saw the future could never have predicted a son like this. And then there's Frieza. The galactic tyrant, newly resurrected and patiently plotting his revenge, would receive the news. Planet Vegeta is back. The monkeys, the race he so thoroughly and gleefully exterminated, have returned. Not a few survivors, but millions of them. For Frieza, this is not just an inconvenience. It is a fundamental threat to his empire and his ego. His greatest accomplishment, the act that solidified his terrifying reputation, has been undone. The sheer strategic nightmare is immense. He knows two of them. Goku and Vegeta reached the level of gods. How many more could achieve that power now, with a whole planet dedicated to training and a culture built on breaking limits? Frieza's timeline for revenge accelerates dramatically. He can no longer afford to bide his time. The existence of a reborn Saiyan empire forces his hand. The 10 years he spent training to achieve his golden form would seem like a wasted luxury. He would immediately retreat to a secluded corner of the universe and begin a training regimen of unparalleled intensity. The singular goal, to surpass not just Goku and Vegeta, but the potential of an entire race of prodigies. The psychological pressure would be immense, and from that pressure, a new form of terror would be forged. The advent of Black Frieza wouldn't be a distant future event. It would become an immediate, universe-threatening necessity for him. The Saiyan's wish for restoration becomes the catalyst for Frieza's ultimate evolution. The power scale of Universe 7 is now completely shattered. Previously, the defense of the universe rested on a handful of Z-fighters. Now, there is a militarized planet with millions of warriors who grow stronger every time they fight. Think of the implications. Dozens, perhaps hundreds, of elite Saiyans like Nappa or the members of Bardock's crew now have access to the knowledge of Super Saiyan. With mentors like Goku and Vegeta, the learning curve would be steep. Super Saiyan would become the standard, not the legend. Imagine an entire army of great apes, now capable of retaining their reason, or even a Jinyu 4-style squad of Super Saiyans. Universe 7 becomes overnight the most formidable military power in the multiverse. But it's an unstable power. The Saiyan thirst for battle and conquest hasn't just vanished. Goku has inadvertently created a galactic superpower with a deeply ingrained warrior ethos, a cosmic powder keg waiting for a spark. This new reality fundamentally alters the coming threats. The planet eater Moro arrives in Universe 7, sensing delicious life energy. His first target wouldn't be New Namek. It would be the giant, pulsating beacon of power that is planet Vegeta. Moro would see it as the ultimate feast. But here, the story takes a fascinating turn. As Moro begins to drain the planet, he would be met with overwhelming resistance. And a strange thing would happen. As he drains the Saiyans to the brink of death, he is inadvertently triggering their Zenkai boosts on a planetary scale. Every warrior he fails to kill instantly would recover stronger than before. Moro's feeding ground becomes a training chamber. He might be draining their energy, but he is forging them into stronger warriors in the process. The fight against Moro is no longer a desperate defense by Goku and Vegeta. It becomes a brutal planet-wide war of attrition, a war that could very well tear Universe 7 apart. Goku's wish, born from a simple desire to reconnect with his past, may have doomed the future to endless conflict. He wanted to restore a home, but he may have just created the greatest threat his universe has ever known.